We've been waiting on this one for a while, Bertie. Maxxxine has finally come out. The ending piece of this trilogy, the X trilogy. Let's talk about this thing. What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Will Hunting. It's your boy Brad. Brett Man's right over there. We're going to be giving you a spoiler-free review for Maxxxine today by Ty West, the third movie in the X trilogy, direct sequel to X, I should say, following the character of Maxxxine Minx, played by Mia Goth. Bertie, we got some stuff to talk about today. It's finally here. We can finally talk about this movie, huh?
Dude, hey, what a freaking banger right now, just to kick off the second half of 2024 in terms of the horror genre, man. We get a banger right here. It's banging outside my house right now with all these fireworks as part of this recording. But
and it's going to be banging inside your house here in about 5 hours. Maybe.
Anyways, we're not going to... Hey, don't ask questions, chat, right now. Don't ask questions in the comic section. What's going to happen in 5 hours? That's between us. That's between us.
Whoa. Easy, big fella. The only thing that's going to be banging over there, I'm not going to be involved with the banging. Only Bertie and Fernando and maybe a couple ladies, but I'm not going to be there.
Bang. 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 Bangity bang. And the bang, bang, bangity bang.
I just want to compliment this trilogy from Ty West, man. I thought... 3 bangers of movies, 3 very different movies, vastly different movies. They all tackle different kind of subgenres. Mia Goth's playing a couple different characters throughout. I got to compliment that. I thought they all really high quality films. I walked into this one, seeing the trailer, it looked fantastic. And in short, I thought it was pretty fantastic. I thought, these 80s vibes it was throwing at us, the soundtrack, all that stuff's fantastic. The atmosphere is thrown. It's Los Angeles in the 80s with the little soundtrack busting around. Now this, like I said, this follows the X movie. This is her character after the events of X, trying to make it as an actress in Los Angeles in the 80s. And, some shit, some stuff from her past comes back. And shit hits the fan.
Yeah, man, dude, definitely dig the 80s vibes. They did a really great job with the opening, really just putting you into this world of the 80s into Hollywood. Because, man, they got freaking like the popular news stories, like, with the famous Night Stalk killer, which I thought that was a pretty nice twist or like a nice thing to put into this particular story. Like you said, Brad, the 80s music really just kind of puts you into that 80s mood. And Brad, freaking drugs everywhere in this movie. They really played into the hard fact that cocaine was such a huge deal during this time in the 80s, and they weren't afraid. I kind of wonder, is that baking powder they used as a prop, or was it the real stuff?
Dude, Maxxxine was a fan of cocaine. We knew that going in. She's always been a fan of the cocaines. Yeah, there was that, man. Kevin Bacon gets introduced in this thing. He's like this sleazy, like, kind of like crazy, like private detective. He's like, he's doing some all kinds of, you see him running around in this thing, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, But I thought he was great. This might have been my favorite thing that I've seen Kevin Bacon do in a minute. I can't remember the last time he's really done something like, unique that stands out like this. So other than his cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas edition, but kind of like a villain, I guess. But I mean, still he kind of, yeah, he was that opposite of Mia Goth's character Maxxxine, and he was great at it.
Yeah, and he was just doing his job, man. So you can't harp a guy too hard for doing his job because, hey, whoever he was supposedly working for, he paid a lot of money. So with a lot of money on the table, especially in the freaking 80s, if you kind of like multiply that times now, dude, I'd be freaking doing whatever that buyer wants me to do, man. So I don't blame good old Kevin Bacon. Plus, we always
trying to get a Bloody Mary. That's all he's trying to do is get maybe a little bacon and a Bloody Mary.
He wastes a perfectly good steak, but that's not important, so that's not really a spoiler. He just did waste a perfectly good steak. But I will say this, though. Anything with bacon in it, it's always going to be freaking good. It's going to be sizzling hot. Make sure you make it crispy, though. But Kevin Bacon was really good in this movie, and I do not have the actress's name offhand, but the director of the particular movie that Maxxxine hopefully to get in, I thought she was really good.
Becky.
Yes, her. I thought she was really good in this movie, just to kind of kind of in a weird, unique way, telling the plot of Maxxxine like throughout this story. So I thought she did a really good job and really good writing with her particular character, just advancing the plot in certain stages and also bringing Maxxine's life into the past so she can face her past.
Yeah, I mean, I think she was a great, just like another layer of this Maxxine character, like another kind of mentor or whatever. I liked her a lot. Actually, I thought she was great.
That's a
Overall, the
better
cast
word.
was, yeah, the cast was fantastic. Mia Goth, as far as she goes, I think, I mean, this might have been her best performance in the trilogy. I think Pearl's up. I mean, obviously, Pearl is great too. It would compare with that. But yeah, I thought she was outstanding in this thing. She had that swag about her, she was carrying that swag around in this thing like it was nobody, like she was dropping it out like it's her day job. And she's got a lot of day jobs right now. So, I think she was dealing it out pretty nicely.
But man, I love that how she just she like I just kind of like how they just didn't like throw her right in like to success immediately. They kind of just showed her like trying to build up to it, working a lot of jobs, and that's kind of realistic back in the 80s. Like one job wasn't going to cut it for you. You have to work multiple jobs and freaking work hard. Which honestly, that's kind of a nice hidden theme in this movie that like a lot of people in this newer generation can really take from this movie. Bust your ass, work hard, success will find you.
And somewhere in the middle, there's cocaine in there. I don't know how that
Yeah,
plays
it's just
into
a puff or
it,
two. Hey, we do not establish drugs on this channel, so hey.
Yeah.
But anyways, though, I kind of will say with Brad real quickly. I'm still going to give the nod to Pearl as Mia Goth's best performance out of the three movies, but I would definitely say Maxxxine in this movie beats her performance in X. Just a little bit, not by that much, but like I still feel like they fleshed out her character.
Difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I like that.
Well, her character's just more of a thing in this. Like she was like she wasn't real. I mean, she was almost like a side character in X. I mean, not because she was still the main character, but there were so many other characters in there. She carries this one. It's 100% her show, just like it was in Pearl.
I actually thought the kills in this movie were solid for the most part. Like you could tell that some good practical effects work. It kind of like went into this film, but I actually still going to give a little bit of a nod to freaking X when it comes to the deliverment of the kills and all that. But don't get me wrong, Maxxxine still really held strong within that department.
Yeah, and this is kind of a different movie too. X was a slasher. It had those kills about it. This one, there's a couple kills in here, but they're done a little bit differently. It's done more within the lines of this kind of movie, which is more of a, I guess, like a investigative, like psychological kind of thriller kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people have been saying this is like a whodunit movie, which I definitely.
Yeah. Was there anything like you didn't like about the movie, Bertman?
It's nothing like really I didn't like about the movie per se. It's just I'm going to be honest with you. I'm like I don't know what really is to describe it. I guess I gotta have to let everything marinate in order to find an answer to this. But as of right now, I was kind of a little disappointed. I felt like they could go further. I felt like at times this movie held itself back, and I'm not sure whether that's like a movie rating or like a studio decision or whatnot. But I felt like at times where they could go further into some particular stuff, they didn't, and it held itself back. And I kind of felt a little disappointed, and trying not to throw out puns here, but I felt like they did blow their load in X a lot.
Man, I think. There's a couple little things like, towards the third act, some of the reveals and like, just some of the way some of the stuff pans out that I thought was a little underwhelming as well. Once we were kind of getting to that territory, it didn't seem, I don't know, epic enough, maybe. I don't know what a good word.
No, I actually agree with you on that without going to spoil their territory, because I was like, oh man, like kind of like that. So
it just seemed like a little bit of like, as far as the ending goes, like and all that stuff, not necessarily the ending, but like just the third act in general was like, it's okay. There wasn't anything that special about it.
Yeah, especially it's just like with like this movie being the third movie of your trilogy, it's supposed to be the last one. You were kind of hoping it really will go out in a big old bang. It kind of does, but not in the bang that you expect. So that's why I guess again that's why I'm kind of like on that little department that it could go really further, and it didn't.
Yeah, I think so. I think it could have been a little bit more interesting towards the end, but overall,
Mhm.
this focus on the character, Maxine did a great job of that. That's the title of the movie. That's what we did here today. And as far as her character goes, superb.
Very successful third installment within this particular trilogy. I know this is going to easily be considered one of the greatest horror trilogies of all the times, and I cannot argue with that. Three stellar films. Maxxing delivers on the final film within this trilogy. You could even say this whole trilogy is an X factor. So with this movie, again, I felt like it could go further and really just leave everything out with a nice little bang. So I'm just going to play it safe right now with the 4.5 out of 5, or really a 4.25, but Letterbox rounding it up, 4.5 out of 5.
I'll go with the 4 or 5 as well. I didn't mention earlier, the movie was actually, it had some pretty funny moments in it, actually, come to think of it. But yeah, 4 or 5. I'm gonna go 4 or 5 for the movie here.
I'll just go 4.5 as well. Just rounded it up there. So that is freaking our non-spoiler review for Maxxine. And I'm sure there'll be a time where we'll go just really spoil into this SOB here. But for the time being, go see this the big screen. Get you a popcorn, get you a drink, and just freaking watch a movie star on screen. And if you are pretty much watching after the fact, what did you all think about Maxxine? Did you really enjoy this movie? Is this your favorite movie of 2024 so far? Or if you kind of like me, it kind of has some problems that held it back from its true potential. Let us know in the comment section down below. Let's get that discussion rolling. And please do not spoil it in the chat. I will put the boots to you.
Yeah, he will do it. If you want to help us find the good reels, you can do so by finding us at all of our socials down below in the description. They're down there for you to check out. We appreciate it. A link to our new channel, Beers with the Bros, is down there. That's going to be starting in the next few weeks. So it's going to be great. Check it out.
Hell yeah, man. Until then, man, Brad, forgot to tell you, I had to duck out here early. I got a phone call for a particular movie called Lombert.
Sign up for that one for sure.
See you guys.